Okay then, what's up everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things happen on this show tonight. A couple surprises here and there, I should say, too. A part of the show at Impact. Some much needed improvements, I would say, too. A couple of improvements, not a lot, but some I was actually glad to see on this show for Impact tonight, okay? Because at first, of course, we still got to continue this whole Who Shot Johnny Bravo thing, and Scott D'Amore shows up, and, wondering, I don't know who is Bravo's father or whatnot, the dog and everything. And they didn't know if there was going to be to pull the plug and whatnot because they were going to recover something. It may not be the same Johnny Bravo from before. And John E starts for Emmett, I guess. So that may be his middle name and everything. But I guess they got to go through Wrestler's Court. But getting to the real part of the show now. We do kick it off with Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus the Sea Stars. Ashley Vox, I believe, was part of the NWA, if I remember. Showed up there several times. Mostly jobbed a lot, but she was on there a lot. And Delmi Exo, I believe they said was her sister and everything. But there's one big improvement to Impact this week, which I was very glad to see. A commentary table change. Matt Striker was on commentary this weekend. It was much needed, to be honest. Him and Josh Matthews, which I was kind of hoping they would have just kept even Madison and Matt Striker, but since we'll get to Madison Rain soon in a minute, I was glad to see Matt Striker on commentary with Josh Matthews. Something about it felt different, maybe because, he's a color commentator, and like I said, mostly focusing on a lot of history of people in the ring or just going through their fighting styles and whatnot. This was good, real good, and very enjoyable too. So that was one of the biggest improvements of Impact tonight, was putting Matt Striker on commentary. As for the tag match itself, basically this was just a way for Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz to showcase and move on into the tournament for the Knockouts titles. Still a good tag match in general, but this was basically to still show off Tasha and Kiera out there and the moving on in the tournament. But not a bad tag match, though, still at the same time. They then went to Jordynne Grace and Jazz, who was there, which I guess they were watching her last match on the monitor, and they asked, what is Jazz doing here? She's Jordynne Grace's mystery partner. And I guess Jazz, which I didn't really know, but I guess I saw the video now, I guess she's retiring from wrestling, and she wants to retire on top. She's been the WWE and NWA Women's Champion in the past, but now she wants to be the Impact Knockouts Tag Champion with Jordynne Grace. So Jazz, they brought in Jazz. I was wondering where Jazz at ever since she had dropped the NWA women's title. I didn't really know what she was doing, but Jazz is back apparently. So we'll see what happens with her and Jordynne Grace. Next, though, what was it? Madison Rain. Yes, the Wrestler's Court. The last time they did Wrestler's Court was with Dreamer and Joey Ryan and all them people, which was actually kind of funny on some levels. But Madison Rain, I guess, was the lawyer for Johnny Bravo, which they were about to begin after the commercial. I know they went to Ethan Page talking about, I guess Doc Gallows is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks or something, and it's supposed to be good news. But Josh Alexander okay, who are we going to face then? You put yourself for the tag titles, and how are we going to get this back? We just got to do this match tonight. It'll be good, okay? But as I was saying before about Wrestler's Court, Johnny Swinger, who basically, was there. And like I said, Madison Rain, since she somewhat likes him and whatnot, defending him and says, why are you wearing a neck brace? And Swinger, that Nick McDevitt told him that, get some sympathy. You get Jerry McDevitt, WWE lawyer. Think about that. D'Lo Brown, I guess, was going to be representing the locker room as the lawyer right there. And Tommy Dreamer was the judge. But Madison Rain's objection because you had an investigation over this, so you're impartial and whatnot, and basically Dreamer said, got a point. So Dreamer and D'Lo switched places and everything. I still kind of like how they called him Mr. DeLorean Brown, and called him Uncle Phil or whatnot. And Dreamer, thank you, I want that chest protector. And D'Lo says, you better recognize Dreamer. So D'Lo was the judge, and Dreamer was the lawyer. And he called him Uncle Phil, and Dreamer went on to talk about, who's going to have the smoking gun in his fanny pack, as they had several people come to the stand and whatnot, questioning them. Who was the one that shot him, okay? Who did it? They asked AC Romero and Others saying like they didn't really know or they did know, so they're trying to still figure this out. This wrestler court thing is somewhat halfway funny in a way. I just still think I'm seeing way too much comedy from Impact lately. I've said it many times before, especially with the Wrestle House stuff. They really need to move on from this, but some of it was funny. I'll say that. Rohit Raju came out for the defeat Rohit challenge. Basically, talking about it's gonna be anybody that want to come out right now. Come on, anybody, let's go. Which ended up being suicide, but Rohit says, listen, TJP, I know what you under the mask, so we're going to play your game and we'll do a non-title match. But in this non-title match, it was not TJP. TJP, it came out distracting Rohit, and it ended up being Crazy Steve for the roll-up win. Obviously, they could have just had TJP be, suicide, which would have been obvious in general, but I'm kind of glad they did. And they actually swerved people right here, putting Crazy Steve under the mask, which kind of gives them a title shot now also. So since it was a non-title, he gets a title shot. So this was actually not bad in outsmarting Rohit, because they could have went with the original way and it would have just been predictable. But hey, at least they kind of played along like, hey, he's not suicide, so guess who's in the mask now? Sami Callihan was helping Ken Shamrock getting ready for his match tonight for the title until Moose showed up and he says, listen, I know you're facing Rich Swan for that Impact title tonight, and I wanted him first. But, you want the number 2 title in the company. And he has a lot of respect for Ken Shamrock. But remember, I beat you the last time we faced, Bound for Glory last year. As Callihan had to hold back Shamrock. Shamrock was pissed and you want to fight? Let's do it now. Let's go. So at least they played some history there, especially from last year with Shamrock and Moose. Tino Dashwood, Caleb Conley. I guess they were looking through more photos. Alicia Edwards wanted to tag again, but they weren't really going for it and whatnot. Alicia said anything's possible if you put some effort into it. And, first you don't succeed, which Dashwood looked like she was starting to give in a little, but we'll see what happens from that. Kimberly making her debut. That wrong person. Kimberly versus Killer Kelly. Too many K's in that. Killer Kelly making her debut. She was in the NXT UK, if I remember. She had Renee Michelle out there. If you do not know who Renee Michelle is, also basically it's Rockstar Spud's wife. That was on a lot of those 24/7 title segments. So kind of at least know a little bit about Killer Kelly and Renee Michelle. Kimberly basically went against Killer Kelly, which was kind of a quick match today, just to give Kimberly a win after a Swan time and whatnot, since they're facing them for the tag belts, not the tag belts, but the tournament next week. And whatnot, so kind of a quick win for her, which I feel like I haven't gotten a win in a long time, if you ask me, but she did get a win right here. But then next thing you know, Susie came out saying like everything's bad, all right, and you hurt her friends, and now it's gonna be bad for both of you guys. Next thing you know, she turned her back, and I guess this was edited right here, but Su Yung came out as Susie stood there. They tried to beat up Su Yung, but Su Yung fought out of it and pulled out her bloody glove. But Kimberly ended up getting Deonna Purrazzo out of dodge, and she went back up the stage. Su Yung just kind of, I guess, edited back into Susie then. So she turned back to Susie. I actually thought it was going to be another person, but I'm sure they did edit this really as fast, which is actually transitional too. So not bad of editing. Not bad at all. Next, though, they went to the Motor City Machine Guns, which Alex Shelley was back from his neck injury, and they had a couple things they wanted to cross off their checklist before going back for those tag titles. One, take care of, Team Triple XL for what they did to, Sabin and them. Number 2, the North after taking out, Alex Shelley and having them have to wrestle that match themselves. And number 3, go back after the Good Brothers for those tag team titles and whatnot. So, basically, the Guns have a mission statement on what they're going to do to, I guess, get their belts back. But they're at least going to take care of some business before going back after the titles then. The North came out as Carl Anderson came out and, talked about, when they came to Impact and that they're the tag team champions right now, just Carl Anderson, because Gallows is out right now. And, they talk about winning the IWGP tag titles and, those New York titles, which basically means the WWE, I guess, tag team champions. And, after picking up the Impact titles now, Page entered Gallows, and, Gallows is, kind of doing his best to heal himself up as they're still trying to sell some merchandise out there. And, but you got to be my phenomenal opponent, okay? Phenomenal. And next thing you know, AJ Styles' music hit, his Get Ready to Fly music. I haven't heard that. It was kind of cool to hear that song again. But when his Get Ready to Fly music hit, it was basically Hornswoggle, the Wenominal AJ Swoggle. So he's basically dressed as AJ Styles. And what can I say? I kind of figured it was going to be this in a way. And end up with Swoggle rolling up Ethan Page for the win. So I guess they can't face for the tag titles anymore right now against the Good Brothers. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I guess it was somewhat harmless in a way on this one. But I just even said that, dude, can we get the real AJ out here to beat the crap out this guy or something? Because, yeah, I've been hearing about Ethan Page's contract coming up next month. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't think they're burying him on the way out. Then again, I heard about Taya's contract coming out also, so we'll see what happens with both of those two. But the Impact, if you're worried about letting those guys go, those two are really good, okay? But yes, the Wenominal one, they have, phenomenal Wenominal, end up beating Ethan Page, like I said, with a roll-up. So yeah, he's the Wenominal, phenomenal AJ Styles music. I was just glad to hear that. Russell Court was back, though, as Tommy Dreamer, asked Swing if you can get away with murder. And he says he hasn't done it because he doesn't need to jeopardize his business ventures. He was the O.J. Simpson of professional wrestling, which Dreamer says, have you read the newspaper recently? He says, yeah, not since 1991, so he doesn't know anything about that. And Dreamer said, Swinger won't shoot someone if it's that fault of a stooge and everything. And, he had all the questions he wanted to ask, but he asked James Mitchell to the podium. And, Mitchell said he's a whoremonger and has the PhD in psychology and demonology. Dreamer said, what's the importance of this whole virgin blood thing? Which, he doesn't really know that much about it, but he knows one of these people may have did it, which ended up getting Rose married in. And asked, did you ever love Johnny Bravo? And he says, no, she was just in it for the virgin blood. It was going to make her powerful and whatnot and everything. And before then, Johnny Bravo showed up, basically calling her a bitch. And, he started yelling then. And, he knows that Rosemary didn't shoot her, and even though he hates her right now. But next year they called Larry D to the table. They asked if he shot him, but it was no. But once he did that spray thing, it ended up being Lawrence D, which they shot because it took the woman of his dreams and whatnot. And ended up Johnny Swinger being innocent throughout the whole thing. Like I said, some of this stuff is funny from the wrestler court and whatnot. But at the same time, I've said it before many times, Impact way too much comedy lately. Way too much comedy spots, if you ask me. And I'm glad this was a one-time thing. I got to continue this and they can all move on to something else because I don't even know where they're going with this anymore. I really don't. Followed by one against Sean Davari. Not much of a match in Eric Young and Joe Dorian coming out and attacking both of these guys. Eric Young then cut a promo talking about the world is sick and it's looking for a cure right now. We are the ones that are in control. Rhino came out to try to attack both of them, but EY and Dorian ended up coming up attacking them. So they're still trying to build those guys up. Next, Rich Swan versus Ken Shamrock in the main event. I know they, Swan and Mac was talking to Chris Bay. I was trying to finesse him, calling him Mac a loser, which had him get out of the locker room then. I know Swaggle and Crazy Steve were dressed in different attires, which TJ Perkins congratulated both. As Brian Myers said, you all look stupid and everything. One's dressing like Suicide and the other one AJ Styles or whatnot. You're not them, basically. But Rich Swan went against Ken Shamrock in the main event for the world title. The match was okay. It wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty fine for what it was. And whatnot. Actually, was about to go get interference and whatnot, but I ended up, not interference, but some lunch, but that did not end up happening, no. So, yeah. But this match was okay. It was pretty good for what it was. It ended up with Ken Shamrock getting the win, though, still. Well, roll up and everything. So, once you get the roll up onto Shamrock. Once you got on the Shamrock and everything, based about submission and whatnot, Ken Shamrock got up, started punching the referee in, calling him an idiot, told Rich Swan get taken back and everything. Callahan basically, he basically looked at Swan and pretty much walked out to the ring then, which Callahan ended up getting a bat or sledgehammer-like thing and hitting Swan in the face, starting to bleed. Someone else would try to make the save, not really sure, but D'Lo Brown and them came in onto Shamrock and Callahan, pretty much breaking them up then about the punch and whatnot. So, yeah, that's kind of basically the end of the show right here. So, Scott D'Amore try to get some more with both of these teams and everything. So, probably tag team match for all I know with both of them. But we'll have to see what happens with this. But I could most likely see that coming is a tag match next week on here, okay? But other than that, that's my review of Impact tonight. Follow me on Twitter at HoodKnight890. Check out any other video that is online right now or any other review and whatnot. Check it out. So a lot of reviews on the way, but kind of getting quick and straight to the point on this one, okay? Got some other stuff I got to take care of and everything, but yeah, that's my review of Impact tonight. So other than that, I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace.